All right, you want to go down to the desert?
Yeah, so the New Mexico's?
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule here, and they're
Yeah.
on ESPN, and like every game, like it lists like how you can watch it. Like most of them are at least you can
Mm.
watch on ESPN Plus. One of the only games that you can't, uh, there's no TV listed, is the game we're about to talk about, New Mexico State and
Yeah.
New Mexico. Um, I think it's well documented New Mexico State's, issues. Uh, they're consistently in Ryan McGee's bottom 10. If you
Mm.
read that threads in ESPN ever. Um, but yeah, I mean they played in week 0. They had a pretty rough loss to UTEP, who I don't think is very good. You know,
2-0. Yeah.
they just barely beat Bethune Cookman at home. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they waxed New Mexico State. So, but give them credit. They showed up in a home game against San Diego State. Uh,
They were away. They were away, I'm
or they
pretty
were
sure.
away. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
sorry, read the wrong. Yeah. So they showed up. Give them credit. I wonder if that says more about San Diego State, who's playing another Power Five team this week. Um, I wonder if it says more about them than it does New Mexico State. But uh, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to really expect New Mexico State to come through with a win here. Jonah Johnson, unfortunately, started a little bit rough, just completing just over 50% of his passes, 3 picks, 7 sacks. I mean, obviously they didn't play very
Mm-hmm.
well, so that's not very
Yeah.
surprising.
Unexpected.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, not too much of a dual threat either. And their leading rusher through 2 games has 63 yards. So they kind of split the carries between Jawan Price and Omori Samuels. So, not really, uh, you know, sure who's going to step up against New
Mhm.
Mexico in this rivalry game, which does it have a name? This isn't the Battle of I-10. The Battle of I-10 is the New Mexico State
NSS.
UTEP game.
Yeah. They
Um,
must. I don't know. It's the battle for Area 51, maybe. I
yeah,
don't know.
no, except for the fact that it's in Nevada, but you have the battle because there's aliens in New
Oh,
Mexico and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, New Mexico is not exactly a storied program themselves. They only beat Houston Baptist, an FCS program, by 10
Mhm.
points. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see, but I can't pick New Mexico State.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't take too much time. Yeah, I think the one thing NMSU might have going for it is Jonah Johnson does have like 10 yards on average per completion going for him. So like
Hmm.
decent, a decent deep ball rate, right? Or just a decent playmaker rate. So, maybe they crack a couple. I agree. I think New Mexico showing against Houston Baptist last week was pretty poor. They had like a 28-point favorite. They didn't score 28 points at all and gave up 17 to them. So they're a 19-point favorite is New Mexico over NMSU and MSU. So I don't think they'll cover. Even I think it'll be pretty low scoring, pretty lethargic on both sides. Um,
By the way,
uh,
I
yeah.
failed to mention because I kind of forgot about this, but do you know who New Mexico's quarterback is?
I see it. Terry Wilson. Is that the guy from Kentucky?
Yeah. Um,
Okay,
so
good stuff.
yeah, he's there. Uh he's down in New Mexico now. No idea why. To be
Yeah,
honest, I
he knocked
hadn't
it down
really.
in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I
Did not
guess.
register.
I mean, definitely from like what I remember him at Kentucky, he played really well.
Yeah.
He's definitely a threat to score both with his legs and his arm. I don't remember him being bad. I thought, and originally he was like an Oregon transfer, or like something like that.
Mm.
So,
Dude,
um,
he's all around the state.
I know that's so interesting. But yeah, Terry Wilson from Oklahoma City, moving a little bit closer to home. So maybe that was it. I'll report to you next week since I didn't do that piece of research. But I mean, you have to like his chances. So
Yeah, I mean he's a good quarterback. He's played at Kentucky. He's
yeah,
got some pedigree for sure.
definitely beat us a couple times because we always
That is true. I think with the defense there for Kentucky than their offense. I'll admit that
True.
they did smack us.
All right, where you want to head
Cool.
next?
Yeah. I'm gonna stay quickly in the desert and talk about San Diego State and Arizona next.
Yeah, I think just quickly, San Diego State had a worse than expected showing, and Arizona had perhaps a slightly better than expected showing against
Yeah.
BYU. Not much is expected from Arizona this season. So the fact that they were able to keep it a one-score game against BYU maybe was encouraging. It was a borderline ranked team about to go to the Big 12. So yeah, I like San Diego State though. Like Arizona's just been trash like the last 3 years. They finally got rid of Kevin Sumlin. So, San Diego State's been a solid program. I'm just purely going off of history, and only one game in. I'm trusting the state of their program a little bit more than I am, the stats here.
Yeah, that's my inclination as well. I don't trust Arizona really, but looking at the numbers, I mean they did generate 350 yards passing last season against BYU, who's a pretty good team on defense, I'd say. Whereas San Diego State gave up 300 yards passing to NMSU, who we just said, again, not great. Maybe some big playabilities, but really, that's not. You shouldn't be giving up 300 yards to NMSU through the air alone.
Right.
So I think just like the way these teams play, looks like Arizona is really just pass heavy. Doesn't really care about the run. San Diego State defends well. The run decently well, it looks like, from the one game, but did poor against the pass. I'm sure they'll make adjustments. I mean, again, they're just a good team. They seem to be really well coached every year and just play good, sound defense. But I mean, if I'm going off of those numbers there, I think Arizona's got the edge.
Yeah, good choice. We'll see. I think. Remind me who Arizona's starting quarterback is this year.
G. Cruz.
Yes.
Gunner Cruz. And with a name like Gunner, oh my goodness, come on. A name like Gunner, this man's gunning for it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. They've had kind of a few quarterbacks that they seem to have been grooming for a while. And then they had like Grant Gunnell, who was like a huge recruit. And I think he maybe he's hurt is what it is, but or I think maybe transferred. Hold on 1 second.
The fast guy?
Oh yeah, he transferred. That's right. He transferred to Memphis.
What was his name?
Grant Gunnell. So.
Oh no, I'm thinking the dual threat quarterback from like 2 years ago.
Oh, Khalil Tate. Tate.
Yeah.
He was there for a while, and then they kind of had this big hotshot recruit called Grant Gunnell, kind of right behind him, and then he just never. Yeah. So they went from Gunnell to Gunner. So anyway, it's maybe they'll just go air heavy against San Diego State since they gave up quite a lot of yards against New Mexico State of all people. But I don't know. I just, I think Arizona needs to grow into itself a little bit and take their lumps this year without Kevin Sumlin, bounce back next year.
Cool. So. Well, they've taken at least 5 lumps in a row. They're over their last 5, so at some point they get a dub, right?
Yeah.
So much last season. This is the week. I'm calling it.
Ha!